Hi, what if I told you there's a hidden gold mine right within your 9 to 5 job? Something you already know that other companies are actually willing to pay for too. Sounds intriguing, right? And not only that, you can leverage AI to actually turn this fuzzy idea into a reality in just a few steps. Let me show you exactly how to do this in the next few minutes. I'm Pranay, an AI coach who helps leaders and professionals use AI in their everyday roles. In my work, I've helped clients not only become more effective at what they already do, but also uncover new ways to monetize existing skills, often in ways they had not even considered. And with all the uncertainty and layoffs happening right now, I figured why keep this a secret? So in this video, I'm going to be walking you through a simple step-by-step path that you can start using right away. First up, let's figure out if consulting is even the right fit for you. Phase 0. Assess your consulting readiness. Before you dive headfirst, let's figure out if consulting actually aligns with your personality and career goals. Trust me, consulting isn't for everyone, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's about picking a model like advisory, coaching, or workshops that highlights your unique strengths. Ready to find out where you start? Let's jump right in. All right, let me show you exactly how to assess your readiness. We'll be going through this prompt collection. It has these 6 phases that we'll go through one by one. But instead of going back and forth, we'll use our handy Chrome extension. So I have my bookmarked collection here. So now this will remain open on the side as I go through using all of these prompts. So for this example, I've picked a fictitious person, Rachel Torres, who we'll be using as an example to find her a new consulting business. So she's in learning and development industry, working at a company right now with 10 years of experience. The very first prompt here is about finding whether you're ready for consulting or if there is something else that would be better for you. So for this one, we're going to need a resume, or you can use your LinkedIn profile. So I'm going to just copy paste that here and copy that entire prompt. So once I have that copied, this is just a free version of ChatGPT. So in this consulting fit evaluation, it gave me a bunch of details about what it thinks would be good for me, even gives me a few ideas for pilot projects. And then finally, it says absolutely yes, with some thoughtful planning. Looks like Rachel is a good fit for consulting. Awesome. Now let's move on to our next prompt, which is finding your ideal consulting delivery mode. So for this, we have a few questions that would be great for ChatGPT to know about you on top of what was given in your resume. So what I've done is I've gone ahead and already filled out some of these answers here. So I'm going to put them in. Okay, so now I've filled out all of these answers that were required. Let's copy this and then again go back to ChatGPT and give it all that information. Okay, looks like it has some options available for me. It tells me advisory plus embedded strategy, workshops, coaching informed facilitation, and then gives me some ideas for what type of companies might be a great fit. Now comes phase 1, define your consulting niche. Here's the deal. Knowing your niche is the difference between struggling and thriving. You already have skills companies crave. We're just going to pinpoint them. Plus, I'm going to show you a quick, low-risk method to validate your niche. No gambling here, just smart moves. Let's see exactly how to nail your niche. We'll start with the first prompt. All we need to do here is copy and give it to ChatGPT. Okay, so this one is great. It has a bunch of information. I love the impact of AI, how it's thinking about that. And then it goes into what are some of the 3 to 5 niches we asked for. So learning strategy, an AI enablement consultant, fractional head of L&D for hybrid startups, a remote leadership development facilitator, onboarding and enablement ecosystem designer. I like that it even tells me to test my hypothesis in my network if something sticks. And then finally, I like this line. Rachel, your niche isn't just learning and development. You are a systems minded strategist. That sounds awesome. All right, so let's assume we've done all of this and we want to move on to the next step. So, in the next step, we do a pilot. And what that really means is we're asking AI to tell us how to figure out if I can do a small version of my final consulting business. So all we need is one of these options here that we like. So I kind of like this remote leadership development facilitator. So let me put that in here. And then I don't know the rate. So I'll just place 100 to 200 and I'll copy this. And then again, give it to ChatGPT. Okay, so it came back with a micropilot validation plan. It tells me what kind of companies I should be looking for, a few LinkedIn DM campaigns or Slack groups I should be looking out for, pricing strategy, which is nice, and service delivery formats. So, yeah, this is all good information that I should definitely be trying out and testing before I go all in. Phase two, build your consulting business. All right, this next phase is about getting legit. We're talking legal, finance, branding, the whole enchilada. And don't worry, it's simpler than it sounds. We'll even create a service package that companies won't be able to resist. Let's get you set up. Okay, so now let me walk you through the essentials to officially kick things off. So we'll start in phase two. So for the consulting business setup, we'll just provide where Rachel is located. Okay, so it looks like it came back with some recommendations for LLC formation and some tax information and banking and such. Of course, all this you should take it with a grain of salt, even though it automatically turned on search. You might want to actually reach out to a lawyer or a tax consultant for this. So next thing, we want to write something about our service package. So I just went ahead and made up something that Rachel was planning to do. So I'll just copy this and paste here. But for your own example, you're probably going to think about all the options ChatGPT gave you, pick one of them and be a little more verbose. You can use voice to dictate exactly what you would like to offer. And so here we're going to just copy this, go to ChatGPT, and then ask it to write it down in the form of a package that is easy for me to tell people about when I'm reaching out to prospective clients. Okay, so here we have a few packages. So first one, leadership quick lift. And then it goes first time manager launch kit. It even goes ahead at the end and tells me different tiers that these packages are at, what kind of value level it is, and even like a target price point that you can aim for. All right, last step in this phase, we will build a credible consulting brand. And so for that, all we need to do is tell it how comfortable we are with technology. So I'll just say hi, and I'll copy that. Okay, so this is a quick one. We got LinkedIn, might want to have a website and landing page, social media strategy, and then personal branding elements that I might want to consider. So now here's the thing. These prompts are good for you to get started, but if I were actually digging deeper into each one of those, I would ask it more follow-up questions like, how can I do a LinkedIn outreach plan, or tell me more about my website content, and so on and so forth. So just complement these prompts with something that you're curious about or you're actually diving deeper into. Now comes phase three, find and win clients. Clients are the lifeblood of your business. This phase is about going from invisible to irresistible. We'll create targeted strategies to win clients confidently, price your services profitably, and nail those proposals. This is where your side hustle gets real. Okay, so now let's actually see how you'll attract and land those clients. So first step in phase 3 is targeting the right companies. So again, there's not much here that you need to provide. We'll just simply copy this and paste. Given that it already knows about what we thought about all our brainstorming in this single chat, there's not much extra information that you have to provide from one step to the other. But if you were to ever use any of these prompts in isolation, you might want to copy the packages that we have and then save that somewhere in one place where you can reuse them over and over again. And so here we have our ICP, Ideal Client Profile, some prioritization methodology, market research, and a bunch of other information. And finally, a summary and some recommended tools that I should be using. The next step is something that we all get tripped up on, pricing strategy. So we already have some idea of how we're going to price our packages. But if you want to provide some additional details, for example, after talking to clients, something else comes up where you would like to provide more information to ChatGPT, you can ask about those. So I'm just going to say none for now. And as you can see, I could have updated that here, or I can also just update before clicking send on ChatGPT. Okay, so it did a quick research and came back with a few hourly rate and retainer fee type of engagements and what usually people charge. And then it has some regional consideration and so on and so forth. Now, this next one lets you create a more comprehensive playbook, or at least gives you a good head start on it. So here we have a lead generation strategy overview, cold outreach, a couple of email templates, and so on and so forth. So now we're starting to pitch clients. And so this is where someone asked you for a proposal. And I've already filled in some of these details. So I can copy that and give it to ChatGPT. So here's a nice looking proposal template that you can utilize for your client. It's left a few things blank as that might be something you fill out, but it's a good start. And again, you can prompt it to refine this based on what you would like to see. Okay, phase 4, deliver and retain clients. Great, you've got clients. Now it's showtime. Delivering excellent results consistently is key to repeat business and rave reviews. I'll show you how to smoothly onboard, exceed expectations, and keep your knowledge razor sharp. Now let's master client delivery. So the first thing is we start with onboarding, and I'm quickly going to enter some of these details. Okay, so we're ready with our client onboarding process, very detailed. And quite honestly, sets you at a very good footing with your client right from the get-go. So the next step in staying valuable to your clients is keeping up to date with industry trends and challenges for your clients. So here's a quick prompt. I've already filled in the details. Okay, so now we have a very comprehensive industry insights paper. It talks about what channels to monitor, even hashtags. Who doesn't like hashtags? And a monitoring schedule. I like that it also tells you to even have discovery interviews with your potential clients. And yeah, some tools and cadence that you can follow. And then finally, there's also a prompt how to keep you up to date and learning and improving your skills. Nice. So now we have a continuous improvement skills and upgrade roadmap. Bunch of stuff about soft skills, client feedback, professional growth. Phase 5, I promise this is the last. Scale and optimize your business. Finally, the fun part, scaling without burnout. Imagine growing your income without adding endless hours. Whether you stay solo or scale to a small firm, I've got you covered. This phase is about smarter, not harder. Let's optimize your success. Okay, last phase. Now let's see exactly how you can scale without being stressed. So for this phase, I'm going to start with the financial KPI dashboard. I have a few details entered. I'll copy and paste in ChatGPT. So the purpose of this is to help you think through some of the critical numbers that you should be keeping track of as this is your very first time running a business. So things like monthly revenue, revenue by service type, your monthly recurring revenue if you have like a subscription model and things like that. Of course, expenses, any kind of like billable hours or any other types of metrics that you should be counting. So this is just a great thing for you to keep track of as you start running your business on a larger scale. Being a consultant also means you have to be on top of your social media game. And oftentimes that comes up as being a thought leader on LinkedIn or other social media. So here I filled out a couple of details, and the goal would be for ChatGPT to tell me how I can create an ongoing personal brand for my consulting business. So here we have a thought leadership roadmap. It's talking about speaking and public engagements, keynotes, content and publishing strategy, media and PR, and a lot of other stuff. And so now we're on the final prompt, which honestly would be great to get to, which is how to scale your business from a solo business to actually a team. So I filled out a few details here, and like always, I'll copy and paste for ChatGPT. Okay, so here we have a blueprint. It tells you could use subcontracting or productized services development. You can think about the team transition and a bunch of good stuff. There you have it, a clear roadmap from 9 to 5 to a thriving consultant, step by step. Remember, this isn't about ditching your job overnight. It's about tapping into your hidden potential and creating exciting opportunities on your own terms. If you found value here, follow and connect with me on LinkedIn. Seriously, reach out. I'm here to help you succeed. Cheers.